Welcome to Designer Discussions with Jason, Maria, and Miriam. Today, we are talking about this year, 2022, in a review.
Welcome to the Designer Discussions podcast. Tune in each week where we discuss marketing, branding, PR, and business advice for design professionals.
Are you ready to get serious about your marketing? We're opening the Designer Discussions Marketing Studio, a monthly series of in-depth, actionable content to guide your marketing, PR, and business development. We want to help you transform your business and elevate it to work with your dream clients.
Thanks, Mirjam, for the intro. And this is our second review, year in review, as we did one last year, which was episode 23. And now we're on episode 74. So this year we did episode 24, and now we're on episode 74. So we did 50 episodes this year, which is amazing. So congratulations to us for lasting this long. And we had a lot of accomplishments that happened this year. We had over 10,000 downloads. So we would like to thank all of the listeners out there that have listened to us, heard us talk about some of the things were relevant to you. Others may not have been. So we're just going to use this time to review what has happened over the past year and what our plans are. I will start and we did this last year too. We did what were our best episodes, or what were the episodes we liked the most from the year. Some of the episodes I liked, and this is personal, I like the episodes that we had on diversity, and we had on those aspects, because that's something that means a whole lot to me, because when I used to teach, that was something that was huge in our realm, was diversity in the design field. And one of the episodes we had, 31, with Kawana, that was actually, I taught her at Southern University. So, and now she's the DEI director at the University of Louisiana Lafayette. So it was almost like seeing my daughter and hearing her speak about all that. So I got a little emotional for that when hearing how much she's grown up in her position now, and that she's the diversity and inclusion director for the whole university now. So I was happy with that one. The other episode 65 with Reed, she had talked about equity in design, and she actually won an NKBA Innovators Award for her work in equity in the design realm. So those are just two of the episodes that I really like because of the diversity, equity, inclusion nature of them. Not to say also with the marketing and all that, but I talk about that all the time. So that's why it's hard for me to say those are some of my best episodes, because I hear about them. I talk about those all the time, but those are just episodes that were near and dear to my heart because of the topic. So I'll pass it on to Mirjam to share a few of hers.
And I do want to say the same thing I said last time when I said, I love all my children the same. And it's true for the podcast too. But since Jason's telling me that I actually do love one of them more than the other, sometimes I'm going to try to really drill down and find a few that I like. And my first thought as I was flipping through our episodes is I like that episodes where we talk about why things are so expensive. So we did an episode about why PR is so expensive. That was 38. And then we did one on why SEO is so expensive, and that's 49. And the reason I like those is because I think part of our mission here at Designer Discussions is to be really honest. We want to provide as much help as we can. And we're always really honest in giving you actionable tips on how to do things yourselves. But sometimes there comes a point when you need a professional, and when you hire professionals to help you with anything, it costs money. And in those episodes, we outline why it's pricey when you hire an SEO agency to help, why it's pricey when you hire a publicist or a PR agency. So I think it helps people understand, and it helps manage expectations in that you can't get everything and do nothing and pay nothing for it. That's just not how marketing and business works. So I like that approach, and I hope that that helps people understand and just decide what route they want to take. It's like, do I want to spend money? Do I have money to spend? Do I want to push my marketing forward? Or maybe I just don't. Maybe now that I understand this, I make a decision and I say, okay, you know what? That's just not that important right now. I'm busy enough. So it sort of helps find the path in the world of marketing. And I really like that about that topic. The other thing, well, I liked a lot of episodes and I learned a lot. Okay. It's like I work in this space, but I feel like when we have guests or even when Jason or Maria talk, I always learn something. And this year in particular, I learned a lot from Maria about behavioral economics, which it's a topic that she's so passionate about. And there's a number of episodes that talk about the different aspects of it. And honestly, I had like some of the concepts you sort of know, but it's like it's different when somebody explains it explicitly. So thank you, Maria, for enlightening me on the topic of behavioral economics. Those were some of my favorites. I think overall, it's been a really interesting, really busy year, and we're super, super excited that so many listeners have tuned in, and we hit the 10,000 download mark. So we'll just, it motivates us to keep going. Maria, what about your favorites?
So I'm a nerd and I love to research patterns and figure out why are things not working, or why do I see this thing reoccurring and happening over and over and over again in interior design businesses, and why is it that we're not trained to understand why those things happen? And so for me, I really, really love digging into the science and the psychology behind the behavioral economics that happen in business. We're all subject to behavioral economics every day. Like we walk up to buy a car and there's an MSRP, and then we're offered a different price so that we feel like that initial offer was higher and we just got a discount. We are living in a world where behavioral economics is being used to leverage power all the time. And I love that I have been able and given this opportunity to do enough research to learn how behavioral economics play out in business and how we can apply it to the interior design industry. I don't think a lot of people who would have a behavioral economics degree or have studied very deeply into that field would understand how it's applied to such a small niche industry as interior design. But I feel like this has given me all the excuses and reasons for why mindset maybe seems a little bit strange. Okay, I'm not going to lie. When people say you need to change your mindset on that, I'm always like, but how do I do it? How do I do it? And so I've dug into this and been putting a lot of time and energy into learning it and starting to realize how it may not be mindset, it may be science. And to me, I'm just the type of person that I need those types of revelations in my business. And I'm just super happy to be able to share them with everybody else. So I've loved the behavioral economics studies where we, dive into some of the smaller concepts. And I've especially enjoyed being able to see how it can apply and be tested in our industry and how it works. And I'm grateful for this podcast because it afforded me the opportunity to research it and share that content with everybody. Also, and then I can subject Mirjam's business to it as well, and Jason's, and torture everybody on the podcast team with the use of behavioral economics.
I wouldn't call it torture,
No, I've learned
a strong word.
Yeah. I mean, and I've learned a lot too from the behavioral economics, and thanks for bringing that up, Mirjam, because after 50 episodes, you don't remember every single one, but I remember we spent the month on
so
that
many
topic.
Children.
We spent a month on that topic, and a lot of the things I was learning for the first time. Like I've heard the concept, but never really knew all of the information behind it, where it came from, what's the strategy behind it, why it's used. And I was like, wow, I felt like I was in a graduate school class again, learning all of this stuff. It was good.
It's so fantastic because you start to say, okay, what is marketing? Marketing is making people know, like, and trust you. Well, how do you make people trust you? How do you make people know you? And how do you make people like you? And there is science behind every single one of those elements. And I'm like, whoa, maybe we leverage the science behind it. Maybe we act on the science and get that strategy under our belt. And then that way, everything else is so much easier because we're using the proper building blocks and taking the right steps to move forward to get that know, like, and trust that we need in the marketing and that we need in our PR. I mean, gosh, there's so much science and psychology behind PR, and people take it for granted.
Yep, it's very true. A lot of it is about perception, and that really digs into it.
So true. So now that we talked about our favorite episodes in the past, let's look into what we have planned for the future. So this is the last episode of 2022, and we're gearing up for 2023. And if you've been listening to the front or the back end of all of the podcasts that have happened within the last month, you've been hearing us talk about the marketing studio. So that will be opening up this same time next week. We will have that open for you all to dive in and get access to all the resources we have to help. And we're just going to talk a little bit about what you can expect from that. On my end, you're going to see that we have a few website templates in there to help you that lay out everything. So we've used our own knowledge from what we have, what we've seen this past year and the years previous on what websites should not do. And we built out templates for what you should have in the website, how it should be laid out and everything. And that's for you to peruse and pick the design and the style that you like from there. So that's one thing that we'll be offering that I'm contributing. And then Mirjam, you want to talk about yours?
Well, I think it's all a little bit of a work in progress, right? And we have many plans, and we'll just start out with a few simple products at the beginning. And one of the ones that I'm working on is going to be a media kit. It's just basically, it's like a little mini lookbook that helps you position yourself and your business for the media and potentially also for brand partnerships. So that's going to be number one. And then we have a long list of things that we'll be developing over the course of the year. So just keep an eye on the marketing studio. Maria, what have you got cooking?
So I'm working on applying behavioral economics as a strategy behind social media posts, TikTok posts, video content, and that kind of stuff, but also applying it to proposal formats so that you can quickly and easily upsell and be more professional in your business presence. And then we're going to have like mood boards, welcome packets, things that are templated to save you time, but also have all of the information ready to go for you. And you can just Mad Lib your way through customizing it to your business so that you can save a bunch of time. Plus you get that up leveling of your business that everybody wants. Everybody wants that fresh start, that new up level. What's the new process that we can implement so that when we start charging more to deal with inflation, it also comes across in all of the documents that are going to be crossing your client's desk. So we're excited to start offering those things pre-done for you because we know you don't have the time, but you understand how to use it.
And then also, as Mirjam, she had talked about what we have in there, what you'll see next week is only the start. So we have a lot of information that we plan to add in the future. And if you have any ideas of what we can add in, please share. And also with the podcast, we already have a handful of topics that we're going to talk about. We're going to start off next year with the marketing and PR for 2023, like we did last year. And so that's going to help you to get your plan together on that side. So you'll have that next week that we'll be talking about. We'll also be talking about content generation ideas for 2023. We're going to have that one in there. Obviously, we're going to have a biz review like we did last year. So there's a number of topics that we did this year that we're going to also continue next year. But if you have any topics that you want us to talk about, feel free to reach out because we're here to listen and provide you even more value than we did this year. So be on the lookout for what we have within the marketing studio, like I said, which opens up this same time next week. And check back because we'll be adding to that all the time. Stay with us on the podcast. If you have any topic ideas, let us know because we want to add those in. And we look forward to what is to come in 2023. So stay tuned with us, and we hope to see you all here next week on Designer Discussions.
Are you ready to get serious about your marketing? We're opening the Designer Discussions Marketing Studio, a monthly series of in-depth, actionable content to guide your marketing, PR, and business development. We want to help you transform your business and elevate it to work with your dream clients.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Designer Discussions. What was your takeaway? Care to share your thoughts and tag Jason, Maria, and Mirjam on social media? You can find them on all platforms at designerdiscussions.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review or comment for this episode from wherever you are listening.